Did she remind you of Nirupa Roy? The value of the penny. That's why I kept it here. The value of the penny was right here. But please give her a huge round of applause. What a fantastic. I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just pulling your leg. That was fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Brilliant work by all these ladies. And you know, I must tell you that apart from two people for whom stage is second nature, who are performers, the rest of them are possibly doing this for the first time, which is why I want all of you to stand up and give them a huge round of applause. Come on. Been find from amongst you, and Sabas heard this idea for the first time. He was very keen, and he's the one who specifically said, let's make it about the women entrepreneurs and let's get them forward. And honestly, I was like, we always do storytellers as a mixed bag, but hearing these people is, I think, a step in the right direction for a lot of what you intend to do. So I think a lot of what we intend to do with our community, which we'll get to hear of, is going to happen. I'm going to leave the stage to somebody who, she and I often have this joke saying that, you know, we are genuinely mirror images of each other. We used to do some shows together at Host, and after about the first couple of lines, she turns and says, you decide. Tu lead kar raha hai ki main? Because we are like that. We are so alpha in presenting things, we always have this. Whenever I need advice, she is the first person I end up calling. I often do the same for her. And we, you know, there is something which goes beyond Delhi days when I used to go to LSR and sing and hope that they would all treat me to something. You know, we have the funniest stories to share. But when I asked her to do a story about her life and events, she said, how can I do one story? I work with all these people, so I'm going to string together a bunch of things that are really special. Ladies and gentlemen, our last woman in events for this evening, the inimitable Mini Mathur.
Actually, shouldn't it be bubbly and vivacious, hostess with the most best Mini Mathur? When are we ever going to get rid of bubbly and vivacious? Because I mostly feel burly and vicious now. So, you know, the thing about being an events person is that you're the one who can fuck it all up. Alright? After months and months of preparations with the brand, the big idea consultants, the event companies, even when the color of the flower arrangement is actually presented to the client on a PowerPoint presentation, I'm the midwife who's got to get the baby out. And I've got to do it right. Thankfully, I have OCD and I carry my OCD onto stage. So whether it is numbering my own cue cards or color correcting it, even color coding them, to going and tilting the teleprompter glass just so that there's no reflection, to correcting all the grammar on the teleprompter with that dada breathing down my neck, trying to push keys faster, to sound testing my own mic, I prefer doing it myself. I even try and handhold and babysit the client before I go into makeup and make sure the CEO's name is correctly pronounced. Alright, that's because I want to be ready for any crisis that may hit. And it always hits me. You know, there are these events which are a joy to host, when everything goes according to plan, where somebody is actually given enough thought to streamline the host job. So when somebody comes and tells me, you know, we've got the on-cue girls on board, I give them a discount. Because I know that when I look into their eyes, they will know what I'm thinking. They're 2 steps ahead. And I love that because that gives me the speed to actually step over just logistics and bring my A game onto stage. With the backstage management teams, it's a bit like being the specialist surgeon who says scalpel, cotton, thread, and it's all there on cue. But then, from on cue, there's also the no clue events. I've also had the misfortune to host events in Jabalpur and Ludhiana, where I have reached to find that I am expected to do the show flow, the script, the timeline, the artist entry, the stage layout. Pretty much they shoved me onto stage and said, Mini ma'am, aap sambhal lo, aap kar loge, aap jaise bhi karna hai kar lo bas. And the reason I have not walked out is because from inside, I'm actually a corporate event manager. I just wear a gown and makeup. But actually, in my DNA, does not allow me to leave an event last minute. And I just take it on and I get it on from there. And, you know, my life in events has actually always given me surprises. When I first came to Bombay to join MTV as a VJ, I was part of something called the VJ Hunt. I don't know how many of you saw that, but we were expected to showcase our talents in front of the secret, high-powered judges panel. We weren't told who the judges were going to be, and I was like, you know, what is my talent? It is, well, I can color coordinate an Excel word sheet really well. Okay, that's not a talent. But I'm a presenter, and I'm really good at that, and I don't need to know how to do the samba, so to hell with it, I'm going to wear a white dress, and I'm going to play Simi Garewal interviewing Mamta Kulkarni. These are two ends of the spectrum, and it's going to be nice. I write a funny, abrasive piece. You have to admit that you can't play Simi Garewal and Mamta Kulkarni at the same time without parodying either, very wickedly. So I prepared this, and the boss, who I could tell didn't like me very much right at the beginning, walked up to me 5 minutes before the event was going to begin, and she said, well, Simi Garewal is one of the judges, have fun. And I'm thinking, all right. So I've been had, this is a situation, I'm sure she's going to be drinking champagne while she watches me murder myself on stage. But sometimes you just got to go with it. You just got to go with the plan and hope for the best. And that's exactly what I did. And in those days, people weren't offended so easily. So I actually got picked, I made it to MTV. And, you know, I mean, it was all well, but it's not always according to plan. So once I was doing this, this event with a really inexperienced co-host who was also this Saas Bahu type TV actor, don't ask me. If you want to know, I'll tell you in the end, but not right now. And it was one of those bravery award type of things where lots of politicians and film stars are supposed to come and give awards and give speeches and all of that. It was like one of those mega 120 cue cards type of thing. And nobody knew who would come in when, who doesn't want to be on stage with who. It was all up in the air, and I was promised that once I get onto stage, they're basically going to put all the categories and awards on stage, on the queue, prompter queue, and I would deal with that. So I take all my 120 cue cards, take my new co-host onto stage and tell him, yahan khade ho jao, and you know, we are on stage. And Murphy's Law attacks. The bulb on the teleprompter goes on the blink, and we suddenly don't know who's coming in, what's happening. And in my fake shrill voice, I'm like, are we having fun? Yeah! I'm trying to get the right cue card out, and in the confusion between me and my co-host, all the cue cards get knocked down on the floor. All of them, the entire stack, Ankur, I kid you not. So, we have no cue cards, we have no prompter, we have no show flow, we have a co-host who is at sea, and the chief minister is in the first row. You can say that again. I sometimes look back on that day and I tell myself, if I can get through that, I can get through bloody anything in life, because I managed to do 3 segments without anything, just by sheer spontaneity and pluck and memory. And I will never forget that day, and that day gives me so much confidence when I think about it, that I pulled that off, and I'm going to pull this off too. Then there was this really awful kind of a semi-filmy co-host, and I have this great luck in having terrible co-hosts, who pronounced everybody's name wrong. That just got me ticking. He pronounced everything wrong. And then he had this thing about wanting to stand on a particular side so his right profile would face the camera, which irritated me no end. You see, because events are my turf. I don't negotiate with filmies on my turf. Go make your films, this is my scene. And I get into that alpha male thing that Roshan was mentioning. Anyway, we decided on letting him take turns, and you know, every entry we'd take alternate places. But even then, it's one of those TV shows that you see where you're having a conversation with your co-host, but you're really looking at the teleprompter like this, and क्या तुम्हें लगता है कि तुम्हें अब ये करना चाहिए, with your eyes fixated on prompter, because you know it would expose his wrong profile. It was so pathetic. And he had this, he wanted to change his tuxedo or suit or whatever thrice in the show. So it so happened that Akshay Kumar was supposed to perform, and I ended up announcing his entry solo, which made him hiss at me because he wanted to do that, but he was busy changing, and Akshay Kumar was hanging from the tarafa. I couldn't hold on any longer. So that's what happened, and it ended in a really weird zone where I figured that this guy is just, I mean, I've never hosted a show with him. And I just like to tell you, the next incident is also about this really creepy TV actor co-host, and I'd like to tell all of you here, what's with the TV actor thing, man? Why don't you get an experienced co-host? Anyway, this creepy guy He's the guy, that masculine MCP shit where he thinks that all the women co-hosts are there to just announce breaks and sponsors, and they're supposed to just be a foil to your jokes, and that just got my tail up so bad. And he happened to, this is going to sound a little weird, but he happened to sneak up and peek into my room while we were getting ready. I was getting ready, and my makeup woman caught him and called him out, and we shamed him. And we actually did not tell the event organizer in all of this, but I took every line of his on stage. I just let him say hello and good night, and I changed the lines of the interviews, and I had such a high energy event that nobody knew what hit them. And the event organizers didn't get any stress at all. They didn't even know what the shit happened. So I got my own bag. You know, this is my family. I see all of you guys around. I work with most of you. I love the energy of live events. I love the uncertainty when I'm in the wings, when we're about to start an event, when we figure, is this going to go all right? And when I'm standing in the last countdown, like Poonam said, 2, 3, 1, and I have my back to the backstage team, and they're looking at me wondering, will she be able to row this boat to the shore in its final stretch? And I have butterflies in my stomach. I think that is the highest high one can ever get in the field, and I'm sure each one of you understands that feeling of, is it all going to go home? Is it going to go home with a bang? And since this is a live event forum, there's no way I'm getting around here without a sponsor mention. No cue cards here, as you can see. I can't possibly end the story without a list of my own sponsor mentions. In this case, it's the teams I have loved working with. Actually, I don't need to see this. On Cue, Encompass, Wizcraft, Percept, Catalyst, Laksh, Team Rustic, Poonam right here, Karan Chetri, ESP. I've just loved working with all of you. And I just hope, this industry goes from strength to strength, because it's been my home for so many goddamn years. Have a great night. The events are to your left. Dinner served.